welcome to Empowered Life. This is Leadership Lunch and Learn, where we have principles and strategies to help you in your business to go to the next level. Again, I'm grateful and I'm thankful to each one of you guys for logging on. Again, I'm sensitive to the fact that it is our lunch hour. And so I'm not going to keep you guys long, but I will drop some strategies and principles that I know can help you go to the next level. And so we're going to jump right into this. Again, let me even thank each one of you guys that's on, and those that are watching and viewing, and even those that will watch and view this. We want to talk about today strategies to maximize the fit. I get it. Huh? Strategies to maximize the fit. Remember, this is the sector that our business sector. And so we just want to give you leadership lessons that can enhance any business that you might be involved in, to help strengthen the relationship between the employer and the employee. And it's going to help you. I promise you, these lessons are absolutely going to help you. And so as we look at it, watch this, as we look at strategies to maximize the fit being an acronym, F.I.T, fit being an acronym. And so what we're going to do is discover fit employees internally and externally to maximize strategy goals or strategic goals. So let's say you have a business, small business, medium, large, doesn't matter. And we say employees, but you can say these principles can cross over into other sectors of your life. But you want to make sure, if you're going to have a good fit with your family, a good fit in your company, a good fit for your business, whatever you're into, you want to strategize and maximize some real good principles that can help you and assist you in going to the next level. Number one, facilitating incorporated thoughts. Facilitating incorporated thoughts. I like to give definitions that can help lay a foundation of what we're looking at and what we're trying to build, and so that it can assist you in a better way. And so when we talk about facilitating incorporated thoughts, you have an employee and an employer. Let's say there's dissension or tension in the relationship. What I believe I can help you with as a facilitator or a person who can be brought in to assist you in this situation of tension, tense, or friction, disagreement, to help smooth it out, is to facilitate incorporated thoughts. What is that? Watch this. Cognitive. The question is, now you could have employees that you've already hired, or it may be employees that you're intending on hiring. Let's say you're a business owner, or a manager, or an assistant. You have upper management level experience, or you're the person that's in charge. How do you stop the friction? How do you make it a smoother environment so that everybody can get along and, watch this, even be more productive? It starts with our cognitive mindset. Cognitive, the act or process of knowing, perception, the product of such a process relating to the mental process, or knowing, perceiving, memory, judgment, and reasoning. How do the manager, the CEO, the CFO, the COO, the employers, how do they think? The business, as you look at your business and you get a snapshot of whatever type business that you're into, what is the thought process? Why did you start the business? Why did you start the company? And what type of employees are you attracting? What type of employees do you want to maintain? Or how can you stop high turnover rate? And so it's the thoughts. It's the thoughts. So now watch this. Two sets of individuals, upper management and employees. How do you fix, help, assist those that you've already hired versus those that you are intending on hiring? If you look at the pool of people that you already have on the job versus the pool of people that you want to attract, that's what we're dealing with here. Cognitive. What is the mindset of upper management versus employees? What is the consciousness, the complex ethical or moral principles that control or inhabit, watch this, the actions or thoughts of an individual? And always remember this, 95% consciousness, subconscious, versus 5% conscious of our cognitive activity. That's a big definition that says this. You're 5% up, where you're up. You're not asleep. 95% of your cognitive thoughts is in the subconscious, what you've programmed. So you could be subliminally, maybe even intentionally, hiring, promoting, or bringing in the same type of people who think the same way versus someone else. Now, I know it seems real business-like, but just keep keep walking with me, and we're going to solve some of these issues that can help companies get to the next level. Watch this, as well as yourself. How do you think? How is your cognitive consciousness? Cognitive congruency between thoughts and actions. Are you hiring people, or are you the type of boss or CEO, CFO, COO, upper management? Are you the type of person that your actions doesn't equal your thoughts? Employees, like bosses that say what they mean what they say, and there's no difference between the two, and equally with upper management and lower management. Cognitive congruency. You want to build a congruency between actions and thoughts. And that's a portrait. Listen to me. That is a portrait. If you have high turnover, if you have tension and friction in the workplace, something that is being said is not lining up with what is being done. Now, I know it again. I know that this may be a little different, a little twist, a little pivot, but I want you guys still to talk to me, because we're on this lunch break, and I want to make sure that you guys get information that can be helpful, that you can grab some principles of something that we're saying that can help you with your relationships, with your family, with your business, with different individuals that you are in a relationship with. Congruency, cognitive congruency between thoughts and action. Watch this one. Competent completion. Or now I'm talking to upper management and owners. Are the employees competent enough to complete tasks at hand, or is there friction? Is there a gap? Is there high turnover? Completion, to complete, to be competent enough to complete a task, or is the task being asked to be repeated over and over and over? And again, we're living in a day and a time now where not just high turnover, but it's hard to find employees. And so even as you are recruiting people who's going to be in your circle, in your family, in your business, it's hard to find people in today's society, number one, that want to work, but number two, that can be competent enough to complete the simplest task asked of them. That's part of what we're here for. I know that I can help you to smooth out that tension, that friction, to help you find, to derive, or I should say, come up with a game plan that can help that company run a lot smoother, and to hire the right people, the people who can think and be competent and cognitive, that matches the vision of that company or the vision of that family. That's number one. Remember this. Number one is facilitating incorporated thoughts. It happens at the front end, not the back end. Number two, we're going to jump into this. Juanita is saying something is hard to complete. Something is hard to complete a task at home. Yes, especially. I'm glad you said that, Juanita. I'm glad you said that for this reason. We have a workforce now that moved from the corporate sector in corporations and businesses and in high places. Watch this, to homes now. So how do we, the previous teachings we've done, how do you pivot to work with employees and businesses that majority of the job is being done at home now? Because truth be told, and you guys know this, and I think you have to admit it, it's hard to be distracted. It's easy to be distracted when you're working from home. How many of you guys that's watching this, will watch this, or listening to this now, that maybe you're working from home? And we've heard it because we call people we thought was in a high rise in a corporation in a building, on some corporation uptown or wherever you may be, Wall Street, wherever you may be, and you went to work back in the day where you used to go to work before the pandemic. And now when we call people, no matter what the job is, listen to this, we're hearing dogs bark in the background, children crying in the background. You got stories on, you're multitasking. So that's a great point, Juanita. That is absolutely a great point. Sometimes it's hard to complete tasks at home because we're easily distracted because, and if you're like me or other people who does a lot of meetings, Zoom meetings, and we're only dressed from the waist up. We're only dressed from the waist up. It's hard to stay focused. And so that's why what I'm teaching you now, this lesson that I'm giving you now, and Queen Royal is saying, yes, so true. It's difficult because we have people, again, when we call people and we're conducting business, Zoom meetings, and we're talking and dealing with people, we find more people now is at home. And so it is increasingly difficult to stay focused. Juanita is saying you can be easily distracted at home. That's right. Absolutely. And so that's why we gave, I believe this is helpful because incorporated, number one, in facilitating incorporated thoughts. But then number two, finding individual talent. Finding individual talent. When corporations are on the search or recruiting employees, how do you find individual talent? Where can you find, especially in the times we live in now, people who want to work, can be focused at work, can complete the task? You're talking about, listen to this, you're talking about just 3-4 years, let's say 5 for the sake of argument or discussion. 5 years ago, the workforce shifted and changed. More people are working from home now than people who are going. Matter of fact, there are statistics and studies that have shown that people prefer to work from home now. But it is increasingly difficult for that individual to stay focused and to find and recruit good talent. Good talent. And so this is what we're going to do. Evaluate the talent. How do you evaluate talent? How do you know that the people that you want to hire, the people that are the places you want to work, there are some people looking for jobs, some people are hiring for jobs. How do you evaluate talent in the culture and the environment that we're living in now? I'll give you several. Adaptability, efficiency with which employees work under stress and respond to change. Listen, guys, I say this all the time. If you hear me whistle, it's because I approve the statement I just said. I'm gonna give it. How do you evaluate talent? How do you find talent? How do you bring out the best in your employees? How do you create that place where people are being satisfied and feel fulfilled and productive? Adaptability. How adaptable is the person? And efficiency with which employees work under stress and respond to change. How are the employees willing to change? And let's look at the area that we're dealing with even right now in the economy and the culture that we're in even right now. Sometimes people are asked to go to work maybe 3 to 5 days a week. Sometimes a person is available, is being offered to work from home remotely. How do you adapt, extract, especially in stressful situations? And how do you change? How do you function in a culture that pivot right before our eyes? How are you dealing with the change right in front of your face? The changes that you're being asked to make. Listen to this. It's a simple question. How adaptable are you? If you're unwilling to be flexible, changeable, and adaptable, it is going to be difficult to function in today's society. B, assertiveness and motivation. Degree to which the employees pursue goals with commitment. Assertiveness. People are looking possibly for employees, workers, upper management levels, and they want the person to be assertive. Listen to this. Do you need for your manager or your supervisor to be one who watches over your shoulder? Or are you and can you be self-motivated? Are you committed to a task at hand? Do you pursue work, or does somebody have to lay it out for you? Remember now, we're talking about evaluating talent. Queen is saying, at the rate the world is moving, changing, we must be adaptable. Absolutely. We got to be adaptable. And if you recruit, listen to this, if you recruit families, friends, employees, whatever sector you're in, you got to make sure that that individual is assertive and motivated, because it is, listen to this. And this is a question for everybody that's on today and will watch this. What level will you give your assertiveness and motivation? Between 1 to 10, what level, what number will you give yourself? And do it like this, guys. Let's move it to working from home, not going in on the job where you got to get up and drive somewhere and clock in. Let's say you work from home. What is the level of your assertiveness and motivation? I know it's easily to be distracted, but from 1 to 10, what number will you give yourself? Juanita is saying, things is always, yes, it is. Things are always changing. Yes, it is. And we got to learn to be adaptable, and assertive. You know, there's a frame of thought that says nobody will give you your own when you have not been faithful to another man's vision and goals. Part of recruiting good employees is finding individuals that can be self-motivated, even from home, and assertive, even from home. What degree to which the employees pursue or goals or commitment? We need to say something. We need to give ourselves a something. Okay. Now remember, these principles is transferable. These principles, because we're all workers, we're all leaders, and everybody deserves to be led well. What kind of leader do you consider yourself? A flexible Southern. A flexible Southern. C, let's move along. C, accomplish, commitment to the completion. Accomplish, commitment to the completion. Number 3, fostering inspired transformation. Fostering inspired transformation. Is the employees or even the management willing to transform or be changed? So I'm gonna close it out with this thought, guys. Inspiring transformation, change in form, appearance, nature, and character. Look at the workforce as a whole. How inspired, CEO on down, employee on up, how inspired are they for transformation? Willing to make the changes? Because remember this, it's not do as I say, not as I do. It's not point the finger and person got to go. We have to, on all levels, management, upper management, every individual in that corporation, watch this, even in that family, have to be willing to change their thoughts, their habits. So we're going to talk about, in closing, transformational leadership. Transformational leadership. If I was to come into your company, if you invite me into your business, and I had to do a snapshot of what's going on, that's the first thing that we would do. We would assess the company. We would assess the employees and the management, and we would get a snapshot of how things function and how things are working. And we will come up with a game plan. And we have a whole lot of tools in our tool chest. First thing that I would do, ticking at the bottom of the screen, as you can see that website ticking at the bottom of the screen, is I would encourage you, if you brought, let's say you brought me into your organization and you asked me to give an assessment of your business. The first thing that I would do is I would ask you, as the CEO, CFO, COO, the higher level, upper level management, the person that makes the decision, I would ask you to take an assessment yourself to see how you're wired. Just for a DIS report. Ticking at the bottom of the screens is, you can find that DIS report right there at empoweredlife.live. That assessment can be done for you individually and each person that is employed with your corporation. What am I trying to get? I'm trying to get a snapshot that you could have a portrait of how you think and why you make decisions that you do. And I believe that once that is done, along with how the person works, because I think sometimes as a corporation or as an individual, we don't know why we respond the way that we do. What motivates us? What drains us? What excites us? So that's the first thing that I would do if you brought me in to do an assessment or get a snapshot of your corporation or your business. I would ask you to submit to our DIS profile analogy. And then I would take it from there and I would offer you individual coaching, or I would offer you individual coaching, group coaching, to help you. Once we get that snapshot of how you think, why you think the way you do, what triggers you, what excites you, what motivates you, and then we'll start the transformational process, and it begins from the top down, and it'll be transformational leadership. Did that sound too silly? I say silly. I'm not trying to push product on you, but I'm telling you, if you're viewing this, I know I can help you. I know that this can help you. And many of you on here now, you've already done that. I know Juanita and Elroy and Queen Royal, I know you guys have had your DISC assessment, and you know why you think the way you do and how you're wired. I'm telling you. Now, let's do this. The best advertisement is a satisfied client. So can I get, before we give you guys the last transformational leadership part, can I get some of you guys that's on here that have taken this DISC assessment to agree, or to just tell me what you think about it? Because remember, because you did the DISC assessment, you know how you're wired. I can tell you for myself, the DISC assessment, I'm a CD. I'm analytical. I'm a thinker, and I have my strengths. I know what my strengths are. I know what my weaknesses are. I know how I communicate. I know who I can communicate with easily versus I have challenges in these areas. That assessment report helps me in doing a better job and offering better results. And so I keep going, and you guys let me know. Effective transformational leadership results in performance that exceeds organizational expectation. I'm going to read that again. Effective transformational leadership results in performances that exceeds organizational expectation. If you want your organization to exceed expectation, I'm telling you, it's through transformational leadership. Leadership that can transform the type of individual, the type of leader that can transform a company, a business, a team, a family, because the principles are transferable. Let me give you these and it will be done. Number one, empowers followers to do what is best for the organization. We're talking about transformational leadership. That type of individual empowers, that's the key word, empowers followers to do what is best for the organization. Juanita is saying it helps us to understand one another, especially our ways. That's right, Juanita. That's absolutely true. Thank you for your honesty and your assessment. That's true. It's exactly what it did for me. Number one, empowers. Transformational leaders empowers followers to do what is best for the organization. Number two, encourages as a strong role model and high value. Let me say this. You have to, and I'm probably will keep your eye out, because we're going to talk about high values, or we're going to have assessed values, because good, strong, productive organizations are built on good values. And if I ask, and I'm not going to do it right now, but if I ask you, what are your values? Can you list what your values are, what you build your life on, your company, your family? Transformational leadership encourages as a strong role model and high value. I consider myself not just an encourager, but to have high values. And I try to model that as a role model to my family, my children, the things that I'm into, my ministry, and the different things that we're doing. Transformational leadership, good leadership that comes from the bottom down and the bottom up and the top down. Number 3, listens to all viewpoints to develop a spirit of cooperation. Number 4, creates a vision using people in the organization, bringing to thoughts when people, transformational leaders, incorporate people's viewpoints and the individuals in the corporation, and makes that individual or the individuals feel included in where that company, that family, that business is going. And then finally, number 5, transformational leadership acts as a change agent within the organization by setting an example of how to initiate and implement change. Isn't that the bottom line, though? Based on what we've been talking about, strategies to maximize the fit. Strategies to maximize the fit. Remember, I told you it was an acronym, F.I.T. And so good transformational leaders or leadership acts as a change agent. They exemplify the change that they're looking for from the employees or the family member, depending on what sector you're talking about or involved in. Act as a change agent within an organization by setting an example of how to initiate and implement change. And isn't it true that change should start within us? Remember, we talked about, let me remind you guys. Remember, I told you we're discovering fit employees internally and externally to maximize strategic goals. And so now we're closing. They're going to model, good transformational leaders model the change that they want to see, both inwardly and ultimately outwardly. Listen, I appreciate you guys spending this lunch hour with me. I know I threw a lot out. This was just like a little snack. How should I say it? It was like an appetizer. It was an appetizer to help take your business, your family, whatever you're into, to the next level, to come up with strategies that can help you to recruit, to improve upon what you're doing. I hope that something that was said, something that was exemplified, assist you. Again, ticking at the bottom of the screen is how you can contact me. I'm more than willing to come in to your organization. I'm willing to speak at your organization, to do whatever it is that you need done to help come up with a plan for your organization, to work with one-on-one coaching, group coaching, on and on and on. Again, ticking at the bottom of the screens is the way that you can get in touch with me, and I will be more than happy to assist you in any way that I can. Juanita is finally saying, that's so good. Thank you so much. Thank you, Juanita, for being so faithful. And all of you guys that I see on here continually, thank you so much. I know it was more business sector today, but we're going to be diving into these different topics, not giving out the whole house, but giving you enough to wet your whistles to know change is possible. Again, I'm Kenneth Antoine, your certified success speaker, coach, and trainer. I'm here to help you. I'm more than willing to come. There is no, I'm going to add this. There is no place too small or too big, too close or too far that we are unwilling to come in and assist you. Why don't you give me a call today? Email me, reach out to me. I know I can help you. Until next time, remember, you have been empowered to live intentionally forward every day. Have a great day. Have the best day that you can. And I'll see you on next week for our Empowered Life Leadership Lunch and Learn. See you next time.